who is the governing council member for Autonomous College and the coordinator for Mahatma Gandhi Vidya Mandir, who is the constant source for us to conduct such deliberations. The guest of honor, chief guest, Dr. Milinji Umekar, who is the president for National APTI, a true leader and the facilitator who always motivate us to conduct such scientific sessions. The CDC chairman, Rajiji Shinde sir, the pharmacy Mataji, Vandana Patrawale madam, who has graced us by her presence. Pallavi Air Rao, who is the alumnus of this college and who has coordinated to make this event fruitful. All the guests, the guest speakers, it's my privilege, and also my colleague, Dr. Bhamba sir, all guest colleagues, all the participants, it's my privilege to welcome you all for this international conference. To just brief about the Mahatma Gandhi Vidya Mandir Pharmacy College, it belongs to Trust Mahatma Gandhi Vidya Mandir. The trust was founded in 1952 with the motto, Bahujan Hitaya, Bahujan Sukhaya. The college is established in 1993, and recently it has accredited with A+ grade. We always excel in quality education. We have more than 30 years of experience for catering pharmacy education. The faculty, through research activities, they have published more than 350 publications, 26 registered patents, 20 books authored. And about the alumnus, who is the strong pillar for the institute for its development. More than 2,000 alumnus globally, they are holding the chairs, respectful chairs in the various fields. We have strong, robust industry linkages, which always supports for the learner's development. And very active career placement cell is also there, which cater the needs of the every learner for their placement, for their grooming in their professional life. So again, I take this opportunity for all the participants, all the stakeholders, all the technocrats to this international conference. Thank you very much. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, sir, for those inspiring words and for setting a strong academic tone for today's gathering. We are also privileged to extend a warm and respectful welcome to Dr. Rajendra Bhambar, sir, Senate Member, SPP, and Principal of MGB's SPH College of Pharmacy, Malegaon. We warmly invite you, sir, to deliver the welcome address and guide us with your insightful words.
Good morning to everybody. Honorable Apurva Hire, coordinator of Mahatma Gandhi Vidya Mandir and Senate member of SPP University. Rajesh Shinde, APTI Women's Forums convener, Vandana Patrawale. All of you know that I started with this APTI forum in 1950, in the year of 15, with the help of Dr. Burande, and it was started from in Bangalore. Principal Dr. Thambe, Rupali ma'am, co-convener Pallavi Jachak ma'am, all eminent speakers. I am very happy that the APTI Women's Forum is organizing this international conference with the coordination with MGV Mahatma Gandhi Vidya Mandir. Dear delegates, as we open the international conference, we must recognize that we are the architect of a new era in public health. Pharmacovigilance is no longer a peripheral regulatory requirement. It is the very heartbeat in the 21st century. We have moved beyond the age of wait and see, entering a digital frontier where data latency is no longer acceptable. In this era, our mandate is clear. We must transfer vast streams of digital noise into precise, life saving signals. As leaders, we are not just managing databases, we are managing the sanctity of the patient physician relationship. While AI and machine learning provide us with unprecedented speed, they must never replace the ethical rigor of human clinical judgment. We must bridge the gap between innovation and safety, ensuring that fast to market never means slow to caution. Our goal today is to foster a global ecosystem where real world evidence informs every regulatory decision we make. Let us challenge ourselves to build systems that are not just reactive to the harm but predictive of safety. I am giving my best wishes for this ecosystem. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Hello. All the best.
Thank you so much, sir, for guiding us with your thoughtful words. We are glad to hear that the Pallavi Aira ma'am is again with us. Now I request Dr. Pallavi Aira ma'am, National Co-Convener, Women's Forum APTI, to deliver the preface for this conference. Ma'am, we respectfully request you to kindly share the vision and set the tone for today's scholarly proceeding.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Rupali. Thank you, Dr. Bhambar sir and Thambe sir. It's my privilege that I am here today. So, respected dignitaries, distinguished speakers, dear colleagues, and participants, a very good morning to you all. It is a great honor and pleasure to welcome you to this international e-conference on pharmacovigilance, redefining drug safety in the digital era. On behalf of MGV Pharmacy College and Association for Pharmacy Teachers of India, I extend a warm welcome to everyone who has joined us today. Both the organizations associated with this conference are extremely special to my heart. MGV Pharmacy College is not merely an institution, it is an alma mater, and I'm proudly belong to the second batch of MGV Pharmacy College, and the values, discipline, and foundation I received here have profoundly shaped both my professional journey and personal growth. Therefore, when Tambe sir, who really holds deeply respected and special place in our all students' lives, invited me to organize this conference in association with APTI Women Forum. I accepted the responsibility without a moment's hesitation. It was truly an honor with immense pride and strong sense of belonging and commitment. Thank you, sir. The second organization, which is very close to my heart, is Association of Pharmacy Teachers of India and Women Forum. I would like to express my sincere gratitude and heartfelt gratitude to Professor Dr. Milindu Mekar sir for placing in me as National Co-Convener of Women Forum. His confidence and encouragement have been a constant source of motivation. And I am truly grateful to Dr. Vandana Patravale ma'am for her unwavering support, wisdom, and inspiration. Thank you so much, ma'am. In today's digital age, the e-conferences have become a powerful platform for bringing minds together beyond borders. They allow us to share knowledge, exchange ideas, collaborate globally with the limitations of without the limitations of distance and time. This virtual space connects cultures, disciplines, and perspectives, making learning more inclusive and sustainable. In planning this e-conference, we were exploring several dynamic fields such as drug regulatory affairs, herbal drug regulations, meta-analysis, pharmacovigilance, and etc. Dotted on pharmacovigilance because it represents one of the most critical responsibilities in modern healthcare, ensuring patient safety beyond the approval of medicines. This theme is especially important today as healthcare systems become more interconnected and patients more diverse. What is safe in one population may not be safe in another, and pharmacovigilance bridges that gap by promoting continuous monitoring and evidence based decision making. The theme of this conference reflects the growing need to integrate digital innovations with regulatory science and patient engagement. This platform brings together experts, researchers, healthcare professionals, and students to share insights, discuss challenges, and explore future directions in pharmacovigilance in the digital era. We are privileged to have with us eminent keynote speakers Dr. Bikash Medhi, Dr. Amit Gupta, Dr. Poonam Kumari, and Dr. Shipra, who had immediately accepted the invitation and gave us time from their busy schedule to be with us here today. I would like to express sincere gratitude to all the organizers, Professor Tambe sir, Professor Bhambar sir, coordinators Dr. Rupali Patil, and supporting teams of MGV Pharmacy College, whose dedication has made this conference possible. I also thank to all the participants for being part of this global exchange of knowledge. I encourage everyone to engage actively, ask questions, and make the most of this opportunity for learning and collaboration. May this conference inspire innovation, strengthen professional networks, and contribute significantly to the advancement of pharmacovigilance in the digital age. With these words, I once again welcome you all and wish you a successful and enlightening conference. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for the brief preface and for sharing the valuable insights. Thank you so much. We have distinct honor and privilege for inviting Honorable Dr. Apurva Bhau, Coordinator, MGV and President, Governing Council, MGV's Pharmacy College, to kindly address this distinguished gathering. Sir, we are deeply grateful for your visionary leadership and continued support, and we respectfully request you to share your valuable insights with us.
Good morning, everyone. I first of all welcome you all and thank APTI Women Forum for making this webinar with collaboration with MGV's Pharmacy College. This is a great opportunity for our college to arrange this online international webinar. I congratulate Bambar sir, Rupali ma'am, and all their team for arranging this webinar. And congratulations to all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. We have privilege for inviting Dr. Milin Umekar, sir, President APTI, to deliver the keynote address. Sir, we respectfully and kindly invite you to distinguish the gathering.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
You are loud and clear,
Good
sir.
morning. Good morning to all. Honorable patrons of the MGV College of Pharmacy, Honorable Prashant Hireji, Apurva Hireji, and Honorable Rajesh Ji Shinde, the convener and the principal of MGB Group, Dr. R.S. Bhambar sir, Dr. Santosh Tambe sir, the office bearer of APTI, Dr. Sohan Chitlange, Vice President of Western Zone, our own Didi and National Convener of APTI Women Forum, Dr. Vandana Patrawale, the co-convener Pallavi Ahir Rao Madam and Rashmi Trivedi Madam, and the convener for this program, our own co-convener Pallavi Ahir Rao, as well as Dr. Rupali Patil Madam, all the dignitaries, my dear students and teachers. It is really a great honor for me to be here as a part of this e-platform for the function of International E-Conference on Pharmacovigilance, redefining the drug safety for the digital era. I sincerely congratulate to the MGV College of Pharmacy for organizing this important academic event in collaboration with APTI Women's Forum. And the theme, I also congratulate for the theme selected by the organizers. As you all are aware, APTI was established 58 years back, and it was continuously working for the upliftment of teachers. And during taking over the charge of president, I thought that we have to give, as you all are aware, that our academic pharmacy education is served by the maximum female teachers. And hence we decided to strengthen our APTI Women Forum, and we request Vandana Madam to take the lead to strengthen this APTI Women Forum. And under her leadership, APTI Women Forum is continuously working hard, and they started very new programs. From last 3 years, they starting new leadership conclave program, which is a national convention of the APTI Women Forum. We can say it as a national program of the APTI Women Forum. And from last 2 years, they are organizing one first APTI convention. APTI Leadership Conclave was organized at Goa. Second APTI Leadership Women Forum Leadership Conclave was organized at Udaipur. And this year, Pallavi Madam taking lead, and she is going to be organized the third APTI Women Leadership Conclave at Chandigarh. Such type of regular events are organized by the APTI as well as APTI Women Forum. And as a part of the continuous upgradation of the teachers, we are organizing many seminar, conferences, and conventions throughout the year in the different parts of the India. Today also around 4 programs are continuously going on for under the banner of APTI. And I'm really thankful to the MGV Nashik, because I think this is the first program organized in the Nashik region in association with the APTI. Last year, the program was organized by the Gokhale College of Pharmacy, and this year, this is the first program organized by MGV. So I am thankful to the MGV group for giving opportunity to the APTI also for organizing the events in association with APTI. Regarding the theme was excellently selected by the organizers. I congratulate, as pharmacovigilance is an important part. It is not only reporting up to, it is not up to the reporting of the adverse drug reaction. It is now become a vital science that ensures patient safety and the proper use of medicines. In today's digital era, tools such as artificial intelligence, big data, and electronic health record are helping to improve the drug safety monitoring. These technologies allow faster detection of problems, better reporting, and improved decisions. Ultimately, we are protecting the public health. As medicine becomes more advanced, including biologicals, personalized therapies, and the new drug delivery system, strong pharmacovigilance systems are essential. Conferences like this provide a valuable platform for academicians, researchers, regulators, industry experts, and students to share their knowledge, discuss the challenges, and explore new solutions. I would like to appreciate the APTI Women Forum for its continuous efforts in empowering women educators, researchers, and the academic and the leadership initiative. Such efforts strengthen the confidence, promote the inclusivity, and support excellence in the pharmaceutical education. I also encourage all the participants, especially students, to actively engage in this conference, learn from the experts, and make the most of this opportunity. I once again congratulate to the organizing team for taking efforts towards the organization of this program. And on this platform, I also request to Dr. Tambe and Dr. Bhambar kindly send your representative in the third leadership conclave so that the female teachers get encouraged under the leadership of dynamic leadership of Vandana Patrave. And I hope definitely Dr. Tambe as well as Dr. Bhambar will accept my request. So once again, I am thankful for this organization, and I congratulate to Pallavi Madam, and I congratulate to Vandana Madam for this milestone in the Nashik region. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir, for your guidance. Now we are honored for inviting Dr. Vandana Patravali, ma'am, National Convener, Women's Forum, and APTI co-convener, to deliver the keynote address. Ma'am, we request you to raise the distinguished guest.
Dr. Rupali, Vandana ma'am is convener of Women Forum, and I am co-convener.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dr. Rupali. And first of all, welcome on behalf of APTI Women Forum to all the distinguished delegates, as well as patrons, conveners, co-conveners, and our own APTI team leaders. What started as activity, as you heard Dr. Milind Maker talking about Women Forum, activity started to foster women in leadership positions. But what has finally resulted is it is not only catering to women, but it's also catering to men. So we are continuously identifying, continuously addressing what are the working needs which are required and are critical for our profession. And therefore, we are continuously working. You'll see that APTI Women Forum throughout the year conducts programs. Last year alone, we had 26 such programs. And this year, I'm sure there'll be many more. So we are looking at how can we train, how can we collaborate, how can we improve the awareness, what is needed in this field to make it the best. So this all is possible only because of our guiding light, Dr. Milind Maker, who's really played a very pivotal role, I would say, and has strengthened APTI as a whole. Pharmacovigilance as a theme, thanks the organizers, I would say MGV College of Pharmacy, along with Dr. Pallavi Ahira, for identifying this particular theme. We all know that it has a very, very critical role in ensuring drug safety. And in pharmacy, we teach, right, that patients are our ultimate goal. Their safety is our ultimate goal. But what was being done earlier was we were looking at monitoring all the adverse reactions or identifying newer risks, giving whatever was required to take care of those risks. Everything was manual. Therefore, pharmacovigilance was a reactive process, which was often relying on voluntary reporting system, because of which there was underreporting, there was delayed data availability, and therefore this particular theme really is important. What would happen in the digital era? Today you will hear all our speakers, and I'm really glad, Dr. Vikas has supported us earlier also. We've had a speaker for meta-analysis. This particular digital era is characterized by proliferation of electronic health records. We are now talking about big data. We are talking about artificial intelligence, be it social media, mobile health, wearable devices. All of these will really transform pharmacovigilance processes in several ways. And I'm sure today's speakers will give you a very fair idea about what is being done in all these areas. Talking of AI and machine learning itself, we know that because it can actually take care of very, very large databases, it can detect patterns, it can really look at signals which are indicating of adverse effects. So they are going to enhance all the signal detection, be it by filtering the noise, be it by prioritizing cases for review, and therefore they'll predict whatever are the potential safety issues before they become widespread. And that's a need. The way at which now technologies are coming forward, I'm sure the rise in adverse effects also would be that many. But AI will come to definitely to our rescue. So we need to embrace it, not as a sole savior, but definitely, as I said, in a supportive role, to take it, learn from it, because finally we are the ones who are going to feed in the information also. So we need to be little cautious too. Social media monitoring. I'm sure so many of you, when you see a post on, say, Facebook, would have given in your data. What is your age? What is your condition? And looking at blood sugar monitoring. iPhone has recently introduced that you can monitor blood pressure, you can monitor blood sugar levels, heart rate, whatnot. So now these natural languages processing tools are really able to scan these social media posts, all the blogs, all the forums, and because of which also these have become digital tools. Automation of case processing, mobile health technologies, all of it definitely are enhancing our data accuracy and, of course, working fast. But are there challenges? Definitely, yes. There are several challenges. Major is data privacy and security. But besides that, what about digital quality? What about digital standardization? Are there any ethical issues? What about regulatory acceptances? Are our regulatory agencies, you know, being trained, especially here in India, to look at AI-driven analysis? I'm sure today's speakers definitely will touch upon all these points. We have excellent line of speakers, and you're sure to learn from them. So wishing you a real great day of learning. See that you don't miss this opportunity to interact with our esteemed panel of speakers. So once again, thanking all the organizers for really collaborating with APTI Women Forum, whose sole intent is to disseminate knowledge to the maximum possible. Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for addressing the gathering. Now I request Dr. Rakesh Somani sir, President, APTI Maharashtra State, to give the keynote address.
Yeah, namaskar and good morning to one and all present on this platform. At the outset, I extend my gratitude to the management and the principal of the MGV's Institution of Pharmacy Colleges at Nasik as well as Maregaon, Professor Bhambar sir as well as Tambe sir. Thank you so much for giving me an opportunity to express a few of the thoughts here. I also acknowledge the presence of Dr. Milind Umekar sir, the National President APTI, Dr. Vandana Patravale Madam, an eminent scientist as well as convener of Women Forum, Dr. Pallavi Ahirrao Madam, the co-convener, all my fellow colleagues at APTI as well as faculty members, students, and importantly, the resource person who are going to deliver their talks during this particular conference. As I understand that MGV has been playing a very pivotal role in organizing such kind of conferences every year. And the topic what has been selected this time is about pharmacovigilance, redefining drug safety for digital era. I think this is a very apt and relevant topic selected by the organizers. The reason is that if you see the Pharmacy Council of India has come up with the new syllabus, the draft syllabus has come up now, And a lot of emphasis has been put up on that pharmacovigilance also into the elective part as well as into the basic curriculum. Also, when we dream India as a Vikasit Bharat by 2047, our Honorable Prime Minister has emphasized to all quarters of the all quarters of the life that each one of us should contribute. And when we have to contribute as a pharmacist towards Vikasit Bharat, apart from manufacturing drug, more important is the safety of the drug also. More important is also that aspect which will take care of the masses, and hence the pharmacovigilance has played or is playing a very pivotal role in attending this kind of targets there. And so the topics, when I was going through the speakers, their choice, their topics, I think you have covered 360-degree aspects of the pharmacovigilance, and I'm very sure that such kind of topic will enlighten not only the students but also the fellow pharmacists as well as those people who are working into pharmacovigilance area. With this, I once again congratulate the organizers and thank for giving me an opportunity to represent my thoughts here. APTI Maharashtra also look forward that such kind of conferences are being done jointly with the different colleges, particularly the college like MGV, which is one of the leading institutions in the state of Maharashtra. Thank you so much, sir. My best wishes to the conference. Thanks.
Thank you so much, sir, for these words. With all these guiding words of our patrons, APTI members, conveners, and co-conveners, it's really set a background for today's conference. Now I request Dr. Rupali Patil ma'am, Professor and HOD, Family Department, MGB's Pharmacy College, to kindly present the vote of thanks for this inaugural ceremony.
Thank you so much, madam. Good morning to all respected dignitaries, distinguished guests, faculty members, participants, and dear students. As we come to close of this auspicious inaugural ceremony, it is my proud privilege to propose the vote of thanks. We express our sincere and heartfelt gratitude to our respected patrons, Honorable Dr. Apurva Bahu Hire and Honorable Shri Rajesh Ji Shinde sir, for their constant guidance, encouragement, and unwavering support. Your visionary leadership and blessings have been the foundation behind the successful organization of this program. We extend our deep appreciation to the esteemed office bearers of APTI for their dedicated efforts in strengthening pharmaceutical education and fostering professional excellence across the nation. Your commitment to academic growth and collaborative programs continues to inspire us all. We are truly thankful to your presence, support, and valuable contribution in making this inaugural ceremony meaningful and successful. I express a heartfelt gratitude to our esteemed chief guest for gracing this occasion with their presence and for delivering such an inspiring and enlightening address. Your words have truly set the tone for this event and motivated us all. Thank you, Patroy ma'am. Thank you, Umekar sir. I extend my sincere thanks to our session chairs for their valuable time, thoughtful. They are going to share their thoughtful insights, constant for this conference. We are truly grateful to our respected dignitaries and institutional leaders for their unwavering support, visionary guidance, and continuous encouragement in organizing this program successfully. I'm also thankful to all the esteemed speakers who have accepted our invitation within a span of time immediately and who are going to share their valuable knowledge with all the delegates. My special appreciation goes to the organizing committee members, faculty coordinators, student coordinators, and technical team whose dedication, teamwork, and tireless efforts ensure the smooth execution of today's inaugural function. I also extend sincere thanks to our collaborators, APTI Women Forum, Pallavi Madam, for her continuous support as well as coordination in this execution of this conference. I also extend sincere thanks to all the participants and delegates throughout the India as well as abroad for registering for this conference. I assure being co-convener of this conference that the contents and the knowledge you will get through this conference will be beneficial for your growth as well as for career. Lastly, I thank each and every individual who contributed directly or indirectly to making this inaugural ceremony a grand success. With gratitude in our hearts and enthusiasm for our sessions ahead, we once again thank everyone for being a part of this memorable beginning. Thank you so much. Please stay tuned for the very first session by our respected speaker, Dr. Bikash Medhi sir. We will join for within a minute. Thank you. Thank you so much, madam.
Can you hear me?
Welcome, Dr. Medhi sir.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. I'll just upload the slide and we can start.
Yeah, yes, sir. So, dear participants, it gives me immense pleasure to start with our very first session of this conference with Dr. Bikash Medhi sir, Professor, Department of Pharmacology, PGI MER Chandigarh, as our very first eminent speaker, with the session chair, Dr. Milind Devre sir.
Yeah, you have to make a stop presentation to upload my slide. You have to stop the presentation so that I can upload
Yes,
the slide.
yes, just a second, sir. I just give me 1 minute so that I will introduce you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Next slide, please. Today's our session chair, Dr. Milind Devre sir. He is a PhD, DABT ERT toxicologist with more than 35 years of experience across academia and pharmaceutical or consumer industry. He was a former global head of toxicology at Johnson & Johnson, leading 40 to 50 toxicologists worldwide. He had extensive expertise in preclinical safety, GLP toxicology, drug discovery and development, consumer products, cosmetics, and medical devices. He was a key contributor to global product safety strategies and regulatory compliance across the regions. Also pioneer in AI-enabled toxicology, developer of ToxBot for risk assessment, founder and principal consultant at Tox Remedies, providing expert toxicology advisory services. He was an award-winning academic with Jawaharlal Nehru Award for Best PhD Thesis and multiple Best Teacher Awards. Author of 93 scientific publications and frequent invited speaker at national and international forums, long-standing expert committee member for USP, IPAC, EDANA, and international safety panels. Welcome you, sir.
Thank you.
About our speaker, Professor Dr. Bikash Medhi sir, is the editor-in-chief of Indian Journal of Pharmacology, very renowned journal in the field of pharmacology. Ex-additional medical superintendent, founder of Experimental Pharmacology and Neurobehavioral Laboratory, editor-in-chief, International Journal of Pharmaceutical Sciences and Nanotechnology, and PGI-MER Drug Bulletin. As a coordinator, PGI-MER Pharmacovigilance and Vigilance Center, Regional Center in North India. Also Regional Coordinator of NADA, North Zone, Ministry of Youth and Sports, Government of India, co-convener for India Initiative Program, lead assessor for GCP, GLP, NABH, CCSEA, NMC, ex-secretary for clinical pharmacology, Indian Pharmacological Society. He has been bestowed with many awards and honors. To list a few, Dr. D.N. Prasad Memorial Award with Gold Medal from ICMR New Delhi, Dr. V.K. Bhargava Award with Gold Medal from NAMS, Dr. B.N. Ghosh Award, Rudra Goswami Award, Colonel Ramnath Chopra Oration Award, P.K. Vaidya Award 2023, Gujarat Bhargava Award on completion of 100 years, National Award from Career Research Foundation in 2025. Some professional recognitions of Sir are listed among the top. He is listed among the top 2% of scientists globally by Elsevier and Stanford University for 5 consecutive years. Nominated member of Executive Committee of IUPHAR for global coverage in coordination with the WHO during 2023 to 2026. He is also Chairman, IUPHAR Basic and Transnational Science, GCP Chairman by Government of India, INSA member for IUPS and IUPHAR. He is a member of Codex Committee, USA, DSBM member for several multinational clinical trials. Many publications to his credits, more than 10 books, 300 book chapters, 700 plus research papers with a citation more than 11,000 to his credit. So I take this is very brief information about the our session chair as well as our eminent speaker. So on behalf of MGVS Pharmacy College and APTI Women Forum, I take this opportunity to welcome both our session chair as well as eminent speaker. Welcome, sir.
Thank you very much. So
Yes, now the screen is
presented. Yeah. So
Yes.
can you stop the presentation so that I can upload? Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you,
So
madam.
I stop my presentation.
Yeah.
Now you can share. Yes.
So I think you can see my slide.
Yes, sir. Yeah, it is.
The slide is also moving.
Yeah.
It's moving. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
they are moving and
So,
full screen as well. Yeah.
So thank you for opportunity and respected chairperson. So I'll take around 40 minutes because I have another forum. I'm sitting here in one of the patient safety forum. I just wanted to brief the audience how we started, pharmacovigilance program of India before I go to signal detection process for PVPI. So if you look back, I remember one of our HOD had come. I was in AIMS doing an MD, 1997. So we are having a seminar. So suddenly he came from a WHO meeting and asked the people, the student, anybody heard of pharmacovigilance? So that day, I remember everybody is looking at each other. We did not heard of pharmacovigilance, 1997. But today, at least when you talk to the student, everybody knows about pharmacovigilance, what PBPI is doing, what Metro Vigilance Center is doing. So 1982, we had a program in central government coordinating program. PJ was also involved, and there were a number of central government hospitals they were involved for collecting idea. So it continued for a couple of years, but since there is no money was coming, so then it stopped. Then Dr. Kesri Singhal, he had taken an initiative in India. He approached an ICMR in 1989. So there is a 3 years program where there are 24 centers were there. Then we got a money from World Bank and government launched the Pharmacovigilance Program of India in 2004, and it also continued till 2008. So after 2008, that World Bank said that we are not going to give the money for running this program. So we call a meeting, like Professor Y.K. Gupta had called a meeting in AIMS. So 2 days, 8 and 9 December, we deliberated each and every point. The question is coming is, why this program is not sustainable. So we when they met the health minister, we said, this is our own program. Unless government of India give a money, And that's how we got 100 crore money, for PBPI program. So when you talk about PBPI, it is like an umbrella that you do Pharmacovigilance Program of India, and that launched on 15 July 2010 with 22 center. Then our DCJ had gone to Paris and somebody asked about hemovigilance. Then he came and started the hemovigilance program in 2011. Then there is a question raised in the parliament about medical devices. So the question here is today we have 8,000 plus devices. The question was raised because the baby was kept in an incubator in Kolkata. Baby got burned because of short circuit. Same incidents happened in Patiala after 1 week. Then we had a series of incident happen, Murshidabad, 24 baby died, shortcut of oxygen, that people died, then MRI machine in Bombay. So that question is coming at quality of medical device, even diagnostic and therapeutic. So we started with Metrovigilance Program of India. Then market is flooded with biosimilar compound. We started biosimilar guideline in 2010. So this year, we wanted to launch the biovigilance program, but maybe this year we're going to launch, but we have a nutritional vigilance program, cosmetovigilance program. All these programs are incorporated under PVP, and one of these is when you give a drug, if there is a failure to therapy, that also considered to be ADR. So we actually started antimicrobial resistance program under the PVPI. So these are, if you see the huge number of, so ultimately the question is coming is the drug is saving, Indian population? Because today you say that there are many incidents happen. I'll give an example of phenylpropylamine. This was banned in US. So the question was raised in the parliament, why this drug is not banned in India? So when we look at this incident, in US, it is banned because it is used for treatment of, obesity. So there are a number of stroke. Here, if we look at that, we use for paracetamol, caffeine, and phenylpropylamine. So we did not have any case of stroke. So that is why you need to understand that there is no system of global ban, and we'll generate our data, and based on the data, is the drug is safe for Indian population, and then only will take a decision. And that's how the signal is very important. So today, when I talk 2010 with 22 center, now we are the largest center. 1,000 centers are there. We have around 11 lakh database. So as you can remember, when Honorable Health Minister released that IP on 2nd of January, he said we are at 318%. Today we, come up to 8%. Today you say that our economy is growing fifth largest, maybe third largest over a period of time. Similarly, we take the lead in pharmacovigilance or metrovigilance. So before we start, Thailand was number 1. And we are number 1. And when we started the program, we collected 3 lakh database. China had collected 9 lakh. I was in meeting in Geneva, so we took the lead. And that's how, India-centric signal is very important in order to take a regulatory decision. So I'll talk about India-centric. So when you talk about signal, you remember that 1961, 16 December, one of the pediatricians had written a letter to Lancet. And he put it beautifully that I'm a pediatrician, and normally when I sit in the OPD, I see congenital albumin is 1.05%. But recently I have seen a lot of phacomelia case. And that become a signal. People came to know that there are 10,000 baby born with phacomelia. And that's the reason that whole thing regulatory changed. And today you say any drug development, you do all the species, smaller one, red mice with a higher animal also. Because in thalidomide, they had studied and they found it is beautifully fine, rat and mice, but they also studied in rabbit, and rabbit, they could find teratogenicity. And that is why today you say any drug in a development state, you say, is there any species variation? And when you go to clinical trial, we say that is there any individual variation? And this is because of thalidomide story. And when people went to the court had asked for the data, and people came to know that company already knew it is teratogenic. And that's the reason that people say that today, any teratogenicity, you do segment 1, segment 2, segment 3 studies. Is it going to affect on implantation? Is it going to affect in segment 2 study organogenesis, period of organogenesis? And you do, can I give the drug to the baby who is giving the lactation? And that's how you look at that. And the same company, when they apply to US FDA, that lady inspector, she never allowed, because earlier it was 60 days, then every 60 days she put the queries. And then there's a huge report was coming from the BMJ and she attached the report and it was rejected. And that's the reason today if you say that, is there any familiar case in US, you can always say that it's not a single one. And lady was awarded by President of US. I also look after, sports program of Government of India. I went to Brazil and I myself see the first time familiar case in a Paralympic. And as you know that they only speak Portuguese and mother was there. Moment I asked that, is it because of thalidomide? Mother said, yes, 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 loudly. And that's how, it is very important that we need to know that whatever decision you are going to take based on our signal, is the drug is safe for Indian population. And you might have seen that with NDCT rule, when we look at any approval process, we can go ahead with approval. We do a PMS studies and we look at in this way that is the drug is safe for North Indian population, South Indian population, or Northeast or East Indian and West Indian, because genomically we like to generate. So today, when you call it a signal, it's a reported information, a possible causal relationship between adverse event and the drug relationship, or it is many unknown, because any report it comes, we always ask, is it known or is it unknown? So you call it, any event is there, you are going to call it an adverse event. And you make a causality, you say, can you call it an adverse like reaction? Is it an SAE? We have to be very prompt in case of a SAE. And we have a clear definition of SAE. If it is a death, if the patient is in OPD, if it is hospitalized, or patient is already in hospitalization, and there is a prolongation of hospitalization, significant medical disability in teratogenesis. So we have to really work promptly within 24 hours. And we also need to know that is there in a SUSAR, suspected unexpected report? Because if you say that, I remember 22nd March when we had a first meeting for COVID, and I was a task force member. Chairman asked me that, look at the data. I look at the global data. I had two apprehensions. One is cardiac arrhythmia, another is hypoglycemia. So this is how it is said that when you get an ADR, is it, you call it, SUSAR, suspected unexpected ADR. So that's how we have to do. And in clinical trial, we have a treatment emergent ADR. So that's how you look at that, signal. And when you look at the signal, you always say that, where you are going to take the important aspect, that signal, that safety data and related to India. So you are going to take the decision based on that. Now coming to the signal scope, one thing is that you do identification and detection of new unlisted ADR. As I said, when you get an ADR, you are going to ask the question, is it new or is it old? So we always look at that, is it new for India or there is a database? So when you look at the UMC guideline, Uppsala Monitoring Center say that you look at the Visualize base, you look at the PBPA database, but they also encourage to go to the UK database and US database because they update it regularly. Okay, and if you do not get, then you can consider to be new. So here it is very important because we talked about quality data, all sensitization of healthcare professional for new and serious ADR, and they have to be looked at that, if you find a particular dermatological syndrome, then you say how many cases we have. And we also facilitate healthcare professionals for better management for serious ADR, how you're going to manage, because our job is to prevent. Today, if you ask that how many ADR we prevented, how many ADR we managed to give, outcome is patient is okay. So to reduce the socioeconomic burden, because one of the point we do pharmacovigilance, we do not harm the patient as a doctor, as a pharmacist, or as a nurses, or any of the stakeholder. But you also say that while if you reduce and prevent, you are going to save the money also. So all this, if you look at that, we talked about individualized therapy. Today, oncology, it has been already started. If you say that, can I give this drug to the particular patient, is the drug is suitable for this particular patient. So that is why we do a pharmacogenomic studies, why this person, if you give carbamazepine to 100 patients, why 1% they develop, Stephen Johnson syndrome. And that is why you have to be very careful that can you reduce that? And that's how we look at all these aspects. And that is why we look at that, can you minimize suitable? And even when we tell the student, because our scenario is totally different, we have a huge number of patient pool, we have a less contact time. But if we say, can you ask the question, do you have an allergy? If they say, there is an allergy, if they do not understand, do you have a food allergy? That actually minimizes a lot of problem. And that's how we have to be trained our student also. So major stakeholder of PVP, as you said, that I said largest program. But the question is coming that some are underperforming, they do not report, all AMC. So you say all the medical college and most of the pharmacy college do have an attached to PharmD and attached to the hospital. And then you say the pharmaceutical industry, they also report. And when we started, we said doctor, dentist, and pharmacist will report. But 2014, we had a meeting in Postbogari. Then we say anybody can report, healthcare worker, like you say, consumer can report, patient can report. Even last, patient safety days, what we did is we had given an award to one of the, patient caregiver to encourage. So when you talk about that, everybody is responsible, and that's how the PBPA talk about that. So signal review panel, if you look at that, it's when you make a causality, it's not only the pharmacologist, it's a clinician, all the teamwork, and we have an algorithm. As you say that, I'll talk about detail about causality. So when you make a causality, you have more than 40 scale, but we use in PBPA or clinical trial WHO scale, because any algorithm when you use, it has to be approved by regulatory authority. And that's how pharmacologist, clinician, clinical pharmacologist, and also regulatory, bodies are involved, because we give a recommendation to CDSU, and then it discussed in the SAC committee, and then it goes to the technical committee and Apex committee, then it is implemented if there is a patient safety concern is there. So today, what I said is, 11 lakh database, we have approximately 80,000 individual cases report, and today we are ninth, position, eighth position we have. So definitely we are actually wanted to make it. When we started in 2010, we said, can you make a center of excellence for pharmacovigilance in India? And that's how we had a meeting in 2015, and IPC, Indian Pharmacopoeia Commission, they got and center of excellence for Asian countries. So all this, what we do is signal management, is signal identification and detection. Every month, as you can see, the 80,000 to 1 lakh data, you get it from thousands of center. And then signal validation is where, because you need to look at the quality of data. So if you look at the form, we have an 18 question, all this data, and if somebody falls sick also, we follow up the patient, what is the outcome, all the signal assessment and confirmation, then it will be discussed in signal review committee, then it will go to SAC. SAC, it is in a DCGI subject expert committee where it will be discussed, then it will be go to the technical committee, then it will go to Apex committee, and finally, DCGI given recommendation. So step to be taken for signal detection of PBPI, if you say tier 1, we are thinking, can you use artificial intelligence in pharmacovigilance? Answer is yes. Like you say, we got a case of Bobaran causes acute renal failure. Somebody had complained. Then you say, how many cases we have? So you can dig out the data. That's how all the developed country, what they develop is a record linkage system. Like if you take example of UK, they have a data surveillance research unit. And that's how any of this, that you can go for a data mining. Like if you take an example of pioglitazone, we had 3 cases. And all these 3 cases, when we receive from Medenta, so then the government take a step that put the ban on pioglitazone. But the question is that how many Indian we have a problem? So again, because you have to also look at the affordability. So ultimately, again, it is revert back and plan for a cohort study. So all this data mining and talk about artificial intelligence, and that is all unlisted signal or anything goes for a PAL, package insert leaflet or drug safety alert. So this is how identify potential individual case report discussed for medical expert on the basis and validation. And then ultimately you talked about validation, because if you say that if it is evidence is enough, you're going to take a regulatory decision. Okay, so that's how. So 1960, if you look at the list of the drug has been withdrawn from the market, single date case, they lead to the withdrawal of the drug. But today we look at very cautiously because, if you put the ban, can the people afford it? A new drug, which is very costly. And then we put for a monitoring also. So this is how tool for data mining, if you say that we have Visualize and Visibase, or you have a PBPA database, so you can dig out the data. So any of the problems, so you can look at that. So this is for to generate the data mining of individual case report for Excel sheet and defined and interpret. So today, anything it comes, and you already going to ask that how about safety of Indian population, and that also stratified. How about children? How about 20 to 40, 40 to 60? How about genetic? And also with a comorbid condition. So this is how. So step to be looking at the data is qualitative evaluation and quantitative evaluation. And that's how you go for it. Like you say, you wanted to generate the data, you go for a secondary data. Anybody who publish, India, you look at the SIMS, NFI, National Formulary of India. So that also going to be released this year, and all the PIL. So you can look at the other countries. We always look at that any drug is there in ICS country. What is the profile? And you always look at the PMS data. Anybody say that I want to introduce this drug, it is there for 4 years. Then you say that, can you get the PMS data? And in the PMS data, we always look at the Indian population, if it is their subgroup, or you can say that Asian population is there. So any of the published report, you always go for it, that any secondary data is that the published report. And obviously, we can also work in a subgroup. Like today, we talk about focused pharmacovigilance. What is focused pharmacovigilance? Like we have SMS alert, there is no evidence, to take a regulatory decision. Then you can say, can you intensify doing studies? And we are doing many of the pharmacogenomic studies, because if you say that any new drug is approved, idea is to, can you go and do a study how suitable this drug for the Indian population, and that kind of process should be there, and then only will be successful. So this is how we look at qualitative evaluation, prepare a case series of identify unlisted adverse event. So you look at a check for frequency and occurrence, change of duration and time, and change of severity, co-funding. As I say, if you find an assay, definitely you have to act within 24 hours. So if I take you a pentavalent vaccine, we have a case from Kerala, Tamil Nadu, PJ2 case, Kashmir, there are 3 cases. So like that you have to be correlating. So there you are going to look at the batch number, you are going to take out from the batch, and you send for an analysis. So this actually prevent the further damage to the society. We had a case of azithromycin, 2 case of arrhythmia. What we did is we called the regulator, take out the whole batch from the market. But here, if you look at that, some of this that we know paracetamol, we know aspirin, but you are looking for a missing information. Today you say aspirin is, we know for more than 124 years, but aspirin causes Ray's syndrome, so that actually took 24 years. So today, when people say that these are the drug, paracetamol, all these conventional drugs, we know, why do we need to record? So this is what an example is, that if you say diabetic patient taking paracetamol, orally 500 develop blurring of vision. So when you talk about diabetic patient, you say you go for a ocular examination because there could be retinopathy, but paracetamol is causing blurring of vision. So how do you look at that? And that is why this data is very important. So all this algorithm, if you find a temporal relationship, when you make a causality, you always say, is there in time sequence? When did you take the medicine? Somebody said, I had taken a medicine 10 days back, I have this problem, but half-life is 2 hours only. We don't accept it. But if it is converted to a metabolite, and that is active metabolite, second thing is decellence. You stop the therapy, is it disappeared? And many of the cases in severe, you cannot go for a reintroduction, but you always look at a biological possibility, syndrome. So basically, you have to say that there is an event till you make a causality. Is it because of the drug? Is it because of underlying disease condition? Or is it because of some other reason? So question you are going to come is, did the drug do it? And that is why you have to establish when you do causality that it is probably related. or you say certain, you never get to get a certain, or you say possibly if time sequence is positive, it is temporal association. If you do not have any data to support or evidence to support, you are going to call it's not because of the drug, and that's how the causality assessment is very important. And you need to develop a skill for making a causality assessment. As I said, there are 40 plus scale, but if you say WHO EMC scale, Naranjara scale, France imputation, or you say European ABO system and Kemper causality, so there are 40 plus scales. But if you say that 1981, Morgan has developed, he's a pathologist. He developed a scale, and that's how we need to look for today. We look for a gold standard. We say that can you have a Bayesian method, because if you go for a legal case, if somebody asks from the judicial that is it because of the drug, we don't have an answer. You can say certain, probable, possible, unaccessible, and that's how WHO scale. If you look at that, all 4 criteria, if you put, time sequence, biological possibility, desalience and resalience. And that's how you look at all this. So if you find all A's, rarely you get it, and that you call it certain. But if you said oncology, they come for one cycle and they go for the next cycle. So same ADR it is reported. So you can use that second cycle ADR for a reintroduction or re-challenge property. But if you do not cannot go for a re-challenge because of serious and severe, typically it is not permitted. You can put it probable or only time sequence is positive, you call it positive. And if you do not get any evidence, definitely we speak, it's not my personal experience. Nobody is going to accept that. So if you can say that, there is no evidence, it is an unacceptable, unaccessible, that is why. So as I said, that there are 4 criteria, if you do not get any evidence, then you can call it unclassified or, conditional or unacceptable. And that's how you put the recommendation along with that. So ultimately, when you prepare for a signal review, so there is a disproportionate analysis, you can go for it. So potentially tool to generate hypothesis and causal relationship for adverse effect. So why I'm taking this topic, because one of the PhD student from IPC had done the studies on only signal review. So we can encourage the student who are interested to do some MPharm or PhD, that let them do the thesis so that you can say that in India, we can develop a gold standard. And that is what you observe, what is expected. And then you go for a qualitative analysis. So if you look at qualitative analysis, like disproportionately analysis, perform drug-given analysis, then qualitative analysis, like you calculate the IC component. So today, if you ask that now you make a causality, can you calculate the IC component, information component? Based on that, you can recommend to the regulator, probably it is related. Or you calculate statistically proportional reporting ratio or chi-square or number of drug given. As I say, we don't have a gold standard today, but you can say that you can go for a Bayesian method for this. So when you calculate the information component, it is basically a statistical disproportional measure based on observation and expected number for case report for positive value. So if you take an example, what is the criteria we follow? If you find IC 25 more than 0, and it's a positive value, and that's how 95% of credibility is there. And you can calculate by using the software, or you can say that you can calculate manually also the IC component, and that's how you can say that what is the IC component. Based on that, you are going to recommend. Then you have a statistical point for proportional reporting ratio, that deviation observed number of form of expected number or express, and that's how if it is more than 2 or equivalent to, definitely you say. So you can say that you always look at that product. When you talk about product, inter-product variation or intra-product variation. So you say you haven't suspected ADR, all the drug, and then you calculate it by 2 by 2 table. So there it is very important that many times we have a difficulty. All antitubercular can cause hepatotoxicity. How can you pinpoint one? And that's how you say that we need the evidence how many Indian have proportionate. Like if you say that when ICMA study was done, that we have collected 58,000 samples. So when you look at the data, antipsychotic, how many? 51%, antidepressant 76%. So exactly you know that how many Indian we have a problem, and that's how we look at. So proportional calculation can be done by using this formula and the chi-square, and that's how we can reserve statistically. So all individual case report quality is very important. As I say, when you collect the report, all 18, about the product information, all detail, 18 question, and reporter information is also important. And that's how when you talk about discussion with the medical expert, because why medical expert is required for assessing this case, because there could be intra-individual variation or there could be intra-individual variation, and that is why individual case report and medical expert and in signal review committee we discuss, and we have a checklist also. So we always look at that in a meeting, that how many cases we have received in IPC, Indian Pharmacovigilance Commission, how many cases globally have been received, and that's how, what is a recommendation. So if you look at the categorization of SRP, Signal Review Committee, you say you have a documentation available, but does not have established a causal relationship between the drug and ADR, so you say process is closed. But if you say established causal relationship between the drug and ADR, but need to be more information is required, that is why we put it in SMS alert. We talk about focused pharmacovigilance and clinically significant, because anything you get, is it significant? We say, is there any assay? Definitely you have to be careful. And then you go for a regulatory. Looking at the signal, it is something like the needle is putting in a grass and you are looking for a needle, and it's very, so we put it in, drug alert. And as you can say that how many drug alert, it's a diamond process 145, and you can say the change in package insert, we give a recommendation to regulator and you say signal. So till today, if you look at the 17 signal, but we put it that this need to be documented. So if you say all PL changes, confirm ADR should be unlisted, PL package insert, it should be incorporated. So as you know that today we call it a new drug when we launch till of year, like 2 years, then years, all information, in case that where is decided, because it is very small, we can put in a QR code or people can look at number of signal, furosemide, what is that? Generalized eczematous and pustulosis. And furosemide maybe sometimes hypokalemia, hyperkalemia, dermatitis. So you can look at all the list of drug. You can go to IPC, how many minoxidil, folliculitis. So this is how it is very important to look at. So if you look at that paracetamol fixed duct eruption, that's a signal. Losartan muscle spasm, that we requested the regulatory authority to update the PIL, package insert report. So pyroxicam, so like that, it need to be updated so that, and we also look at the global visibility. So how you go for a global visibility? If you say that WHO appreciate by putting it in a newsletter. So if you look at the mefenamic acid, doxycycline, all the PL, it was published in WHO report. So this is how you look at all the serious ADR, Stephen-Johnson syndrome, and definitely have to be very, very careful. Today, we talk about individualized therapy. Our job is to how you prevent. Today, if you say that we have been since 2010, you are doing like it is almost 16 years, how many ADR we prevented? So government is spending 80 to 100 crore rupees. How many ADR we are preventing? And that's how we have to look at. So IPC flagged that adverse link to cephalosporin antibiotic cephalosporin. So these are situation is very important because physician will be taking care of, and they know that they have already come to know. So SMS alert or from the any communication, and they will go for a monitoring. Drug safety alert, IPC adverse event linked to trichomonas, any of the therapeutic index drug, you have to be careful. And this is how we look at. So I'll stop it here, but you know that everybody is requested to contribute to PBPI or MBPI or hemovigilance system. And as we say that we are expanding to cosmetovigilance, antimicrobial therapy. Even today you take a food, when you approve the food, there is a PMS, post-marketing surveillance, that also you can report. Any of the IUs has around 42 center. So parallelly it is running. So today, when you talk about IUs, nobody MBBS guy, they'll able to like, well, I was doing MBBS, we didn't know about IUs, Ayurveda, Unani, all this system, Tibetan system. So we need to really look at, because you say that I work for food. Somebody had taken a lecture and they said that, you need to have a prescription for food also. So if you go to the OPD, if you take a detail, how many desi medicine before you come to tertiary care center, you have taken it, because they go to the doctors moment they come to the medical college, and definitely they have number of drug, and it's a polypharmacy, and that need to be looked at. So today you talk about prescription, and students should be also know the prescription. How do you evaluate prescription? I also request the student to go to NPTEL. We had recorded 47 modules. So you can go, how do you prescribe for elderly? How do you prescribe for pregnant women? So these are the modules are there. Can you go to the modules and you'll be learning much better, because UK, they have a system that once you become a doctor, you are not likely to write a prescription unless you take an exam and qualified more than 80%. And that is what we need to have. It is a voluntary system. So you can go and read that. So thank you very much. And thank you for, giving that opportunity, and that's how. So any questions, I'll be very happy to answer, and thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Mary. It was an excellent presentation. I think we have got an expert who has seen a journey from what is pharmacovigilance to talking about AI in pharmacovigilance and signaling. So thank you so much. I think for the delegates, it becomes a big opportunity to have any questions or doubts cleared. And I think there's an indication in the chat box also that you can post a question. So I'm opening this forum for any discussion.
Yeah.
Questions. Yeah.
And let me tell you also, it's a huge career also. The 2008, we have a career for clinical trial. And today also, if you say the government has announced with the budget that 1,000 clinical trial site will be there. So it is one of the huge career for, because today, if I look back when the patent came in AIMS, so Delhi had only one lawyer. So today you have a number of people. Similarly for metro vigilance also, we need an expertise, so that's how. So look at any of the questions are there, then I'll answer it.
Yeah, any questions from anyone?
Yeah.
Because this should be an interactive, I think.
Yeah, this should be an interactive.
While there are any questions, I'll just comment on what Professor Mary just mentioned about career opportunities. Often people get, apprehensive when we talk of AI, that is it going to take away my job? I think it's going to create more jobs. Only thing
मैं इसमें ना एक एग्जांपल देता हूँ कि जब ईमेल आया था, so we thought post office will be closed. One of the student had asked me this question. I told him that when email came, I thought it will be closed, but they're doing much better.
Yeah.
So definitely opportunity is there.
The jobs will change, but I don't think you're going to lose the jobs.
Yeah. So I remember there is one company in Chandigarh, they started with 3 people. So they have 3,000, more than 3,000 people now in pharmacovigilance.
Yeah.
So how many attendees are there today?
I see 350 plus.
Okay.
Sir, one question is there.
Yeah, there is a one question. Can you create a model or a platform that will recognize that unknown idea? And basically what I said that when we get an idea, we always discuss that is it new, is it old? Or you also see that is it new for India? So we go for a PBPA database also, and then globally also we go for a global database, PGBase and Visualize, and UK and US database. But there is also a database, Spinger database, private database that also you can go for it. So you can identify that. And this will be a kind of a SOP, like in a center, we have an SOP, how do you go for it? And that will develop a skill.
So there are a few queries in the chat box.
Regarding one queries that I was answering, create a new model for platform to recognize unknown ADR and seen in patients, so that we have identified. So we always go for a focused pharmacovigilance. So typically, if you get something like, I will give an example, we got 5 cases of steroid causing allergy. So it's a typical one. So then we'll go for it. And we have a system right now is that we'll go for a multi-site study also. Second, there are manipulation happen in different costs that like to have. So we have a quality assurance team, so they look at that, you know. So if you say that you collect the report from PJ, for example, so we have an HIS system, we have an MRD, so we can always verify when the patient came, what was happened, you know, you can verify the data. And CDSU also earlier that all the pharmacovigilance center, there will be an inspection, and that they're going to start it also for verification of data. So normally, government like a situation that we keep OPD data for 5 years, indoor for 10 years, medical legal for lifelong. But the research institute, we never destroy any data. So you can take an example of some of the countries also. Australia, they keep it for 25 years. Estonia, everything here. So we have a e-health record also. They'll keep digitalized, and that will be kept for 3 years time. That is also there. So you can verify all the data.
There's one more question on manipulation. There are
That is
manipulations.
what I say, that we
Yeah.
have a quality assurance team. We can verify, and this is also going to start a pharmacovigilance inspection that will verify the data from the hard copy as well as from MRD and HS system. So another question: if a drug safety alert is issued this month, and the SRP signal review committee discuss later. So it is something like the process we discuss in SRP signal review committee. Then we recommend to the DCGI office, because there is a representation from DCGI office also. Then it will be discussed in SAC, subject expert committee. Then it will be recommended. Then it will go to technical committee and apex committee. Then it will be incorporated. So that's how we do it. And it is a systemic. We give a recommendation, then only it is. So in case of a freshers, like we get a lot of students, they come for a training, a lot of students, they come for a training for 3 months, 6 months. I just wanted to tell you also, IPC started an internship program for all the students who come for 3 months, 6 months. So you can select the center and you get a certificate from IPC. It's a government of India. So that also. So we have been maybe around 40 students we are in PJ itself, because it's a huge hospital. So you can select a hospital, and we train them also how to collect the report, how to process, how to make a causality assessment, and how to use the particular software. So once you know that we have a ADRMS system or VGFlow, so once you become familiar, so in industry, they use another software. So you become familiar with that. Another question, sir, doctor of pharmacy intern working in multi-super specialty hospital. I have seen many healthcare professionals still unknown how to recognizing the report of ADR and create a simpler and a healthcare professional level. So this is like we have an orientation program, like every 6 monthly our resident join. So we go for an orientation program that you have a system of pharmacovigilance, metrovigilance, hemovigilance. So if you come across any area, we have an app also. If they do not have a time, so they can press the button. So that system is implemented. So all the hospital, you need to be create an awareness, because people who are coming new, they'll not get to know there is a system. So we need to create an awareness, and that's how we do.
I don't see any other questions.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Dr. Rupali, ma'am, do you want me to provide my comments?
Please.
Yeah. So as I said, first of all, thank you, Professor Mehdi, for an excellent presentation. I think we have got real an expert who is well aware of what is happening in pharmacovigilance. To just provide my perspectives, it is just an incidental thing that last 6 months, I was first involved in AI in preclinical area and digital pathology. Then I was involved in clinical trial AI, where we are talking of first AI drug, which is which is gone in phase 3. And now I'm sitting in a forum where we're just talking of AI and pharmacovigilance, so which almost covers all the areas of drug development, and pharmacovigilance being the last one, the phase 4. I think AI is now encompassing almost all the areas in drug development, which is a really great sign. The other piece is when you talk of AI, there are, I would say there are three phases. One is creation of that AI, which the challenges are, the database. The second is the challenges, the marriage between AI technologist and the technical person, because the technical person knows their requirement, but they don't know the requirements of AI person, vice versa, he or she knows the requirement of AI but doesn't understand the technicalities. And the third piece is, how do you put everything in the algorithm and create a AI solution. I think in pharmacovigilance you have got great database. I see that it's well coordinated. Right, so just, how do you uh, you know have these AI solutions created. The second challenge is AI is how do these systems get adapted once it is created, how does it get adapted. Now that adaptation piece is a bit um, tricky, because although you might have AI solutions, the adoption is facing a challenge, because either the people who are adopting it, they are not aware of, the entire solution, or they are apprehensive of losing a job, or the third apprehension is, whether this, and especially in healthcare, whether this is going to get accepted by the regulators. And I think this last piece is the challenge, which is the third challenge, regulatory acceptance, which I think Professor Mehdi has also addressed it. Now, to just provide a quick thing is US FDA has come up with an program called as I Stand. Europe is coming out with their own regulations, and similarly CDSCO in India, they are coming up with regulations. So from regulatory acceptance perspective also, I think things are moving fast, that the apprehension of regulatory acceptance of these AI solutions will be sorted out in next maybe a year or so, and that challenge is also going to get solved. So all in all, I think it's a great time for AI and healthcare. I think in case of healthcare, the main thing is you have got, in case of pharmacology, as I said, great database, irrespective of the brand names. Even if you talk of generics, this all data can be pulled in, and then you can get deep learnings and deep understandings of which drug is causing what effect, and you can slice it across country level, across region like Asia Pacific, Europe, against global level, and then you will see really very knowledgeable insights coming out, which would be really great for drug safety. I think all in all, thanks to Dr. Tambe and the coordinators for inviting me for this chairing this session. But over and above that, selecting this topic, and I see the series of lectures which have been lined up. Really, they are very, insight. They are going to provide a lot of insights, and they are going to be, talk of future. So thank you, organizers. Thank you, Professor Mehdi, and thank you, everyone.
Thank you. So there is one question from the student regarding the basic knowledge. I'll just tell you one incident. When we send the student to psychiatry department, we always say that do not interact with the patient. You only interact with the psychiatrist or psychologist to get that information. So this is also how do you look at the medical data? We always take a training, initial training, and that should be there. So once you develop that skill, then it will be definitely fine. Take the case, discuss the case along with your seniors, and definitely how to put it. And that's how you can, enhance the basic knowledge and the skill. So thank you very much, and namaskar, and
Thank you.
over to you.
Thank you. Back to you, Dr. Yeah. You're on mute. Dr. Rupali, you're on mute.
Yes. Thank you so much, sir, for sharing your insightful thoughts about the pharmacovigilance current situation in India. As a token of gratitude,
So, ma'am, with your permission, can I leave?
yes, sir, just a second.
Thank you.
As a token of gratitude, we are sharing this certificate of appreciation to our session chair as well as to our esteemed speaker. Thank you so
Thank you.
much, sir,
Thank you. Namaskar.
for sharing
Namaskar.
your valuable time.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Dear delegates, please be good. We are starting with the second session in 2 minutes.